Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Laura.
And for the last 5 months, we've been living and traveling on this. And for the last 3 weeks, we've been in the Pacific Northwest, and we've been driving the iconic Highway 101 down the coast of Washington and Oregon. And it has been pretty amazing. We have a bunch of stuff that we're excited to share with you guys in this video. We pulled our camper down the longest driving beach in the United States. We hiked some remote sand dunes. And I think probably our favorite thing from the last 3 weeks was crabbing from our canoe on the Pacific Ocean. So you'll get to hear about that too.
Our first stop off 101 actually required a ferry ride. And as you know from our last video, we love a ferry ride. We were so close to Vancouver Island that we thought we'd be really missing out if we didn't take the time to go visit our northern neighbors. So took a ferry ride to Victoria. Victoria is absolutely beautiful. They're really keen on landscaping. There's a really cool topiary, tons of hanging baskets, gardens. Their public and private spaces both are just filled with lots of beautiful gardens and landscaping. We really loved it. The other thing that really stood out about Victoria was the bike friendliness. They have separate bike lanes all along the harbor. They had a really great trail. We felt very safe biking there, and we got to see a lot of the city from the bicycles. We just rode around and saw all the bay, the waterfronts, lots of cool neighborhoods. It was a really fun time, fun day.
100% bike friendly. Highly recommend touring Victoria by bike. The other thing that we really enjoyed there, probably my personal favorite thing, there are houseboat cities around the Victoria Harbor area. So it was really cool, like hundreds of houseboats that are grandfathered in. They seem like they've been there 50, 70, 80 years. There's whole neighborhoods, and you can walk. They're open to the public. You can walk around on the docks and check out the houseboats, which we did and had a great time doing. So the drive down 101 after the stop for Victoria has really been great. 101 is just it's just one beautiful overlook after the next. It's a mix of rocky beaches, crashing surf, just beautiful mountain views. We've really been enjoying the drive, to say the least. And I think probably the first coastal stop on the drive was one of our favorites.
That was Cape Flattery. And Cape Flattery is a national wildlife refuge. So there's a lot of migrant seabirds that go through there, otters, seals, other marine mammals. And it's on Maka tribal lands. So they manage the trails there. And we took a walk down there, and you basically are on top of a bluff, and you have these amazing views of crashing ocean below and rocks off in the distance.
That was incredible.
The scenery is just absolutely gorgeous. And we were super lucky that we remembered our binoculars, because we got to see a couple of orcas, which was really special. There was a rock that was covered with seals, and the orcas were lurking around there. So we got to watch the seals respond to that and the orcas swimming around. It was a really, really cool day.
It was fun. The seals and sea lions responded with great alarm. We knew immediately when the orcas were in the area.
They went from lazy to like factor 10 high alert. Yeah.
So after Cape Flattery, we drove south along the coast. We made really too many great stops to list them all. But one of the most surprising, I think, was Forks, Washington. If there's any Twilight fans, you'll know what that place is. The vampire werewolf movies were set there. And the whole town is about that. I mean, it's a town of 4,000, and they've totally capitalized on Twilight.
Yeah, they leaned into Twilight.
They leaned in. But it was fun. There's like Twilight stuff, stickers, billboards everywhere. The pins on the map at the visitor center were unreal. I mean, thousands of people must visit like every month just to see Twilight stuff from around the world. It was crazy. And then we did a bunch of camping. I think hiking, beachcombing, camping on the beach, that's probably been one of the highlights. We had amazing spots like at Claylock National Forest Service Campground. We had a spot on a bluff overlooking the ocean. We camped several places on the beach. We did a bunch of hiking on the beaches. The beaches are just incredible here, really dramatic scenery. So we really enjoyed that. And we stopped in Long Beach, Washington, and pulled the camper out on the longest driving beach in North America. That was pretty cool. You're able to get to a place where there's nobody else around on the beach, just you and your camper. So we really enjoyed that.
The other thing we did just after Long Beach was go to an oyster farm, which was really cool. We went to Oysterville, Washington, just north of Long Beach, and it is on the cleanest estuary in the United States. And they have, it's a very historic little town. We were driving through these like 100-year-old homes. It's beautiful, like bucolic harbor towns. It was really special to sit on their dock or sit on their like patio overlooking the bay and tasting some oysters. They were really tasty.
Oh, they were very good. Wow.
Another unexpected stop were the Oregon dunes, and they are what they say, like between the Highway 101 and the coast, there's miles of sand. And it was a fun stop. You just kind of walk out and all you see is like these big sand dunes and the sky. And there's a trail technically, but not really. I mean, they try to mark it, but
there's not really a trail. There were a few posts over the distance of like 2 miles, but mostly you're just wandering around, wondering where the next post is.
The whole time I felt like we're on the set of a movie of someone lost in the desert. So it was really cool. We hung out there for a while, watched all the sand. I mean, they shift constantly, so the sand's blowing and shifting the dunes. It was a really cool stop also.
That was neat. So our other, I think, and probably favorite stop on the coast of Oregon was in Bandon. We stopped there to go to a cheese factory, oddly enough, but they happened to have an open public marina, and I wanted to walk around and see the boats, of course, while we were there. And we bumped into some people in the marina who were crabbing. 2 women actually who were crabbing from paddle boards inside the marina, which was kind of crazy. And they pointed us to a crab shack where we could rent crabbing equipment. And we actually travel with our canoe. So we rented some crab traps and decided to try our hand at crabbing.
Yeah, it was really fun. We got the canoe down. We rented 2 traps. There's a ring trap and a box trap, and they're pretty big. They kind of barely fit in the canoe. And we paddled out to the mouth of the river and threw them overboard. They have a little float. So the big one you throw out for hours or a couple hours if you want. And the smaller one has to be checked more frequently. So we bait them with chicken. Raw chicken is what you use to get crabs. Also the seals. We learned the seals do not like raw chicken. They don't eat the chicken. So that's why I use chicken, because the seals won't, because there were seals out there. So we just kind of paddled around. We threw the ring one out there, and when you pull it up, the crabs of course don't want to be caught, so you're kind of fighting with them. They're hanging on with their claws. You're trying to avoid getting pinched yourself, because apparently it's super painful, and they don't let go. Like you have to break their arms off. Yeah. So we caught probably about a dozen crabs, but we had to throw most of them back. You can only keep males, and you can only keep males of a certain size. So you have to like look at the crab. You can tell on their backside, like whether it's male or female. They give you like a little chart to use and a little gauge, and you measure them. So we only caught one that we got to keep, but we got to keep it, and it was super fun. That was like the most unique fun thing.
It was a good time. We got a lot of side eye from the locals who were crabbing in their big metal ocean going Alaskan skiffs. And we're out there floating around outside the harbor in our canoe, but it was a relatively calm day, and we were able to make it work.
Yeah.
We did catch that one keeper crab, and we took that crab to a crab shack on the beach that will boil and clean your crab for $2. So we had him boiled, cleaned, got a little crab cleaning lesson and thrown in for free, and then we ate him. And it was a lot of fun.
It was a really, really fun day.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. What you eating there?
Seafood.
Yeah.
Tuna fish sandwich. Backup seafood in case we didn't get enough crab.